more than security threat, the president will have to face the full weight of the Liberian people.
As the commissioner of the internal electoral, the commissioner chair of the internal electoral process of the Miapue Congress for Democratic Change, you are the victor of the all-important process.
The guy is learning how to study words, but looking at my own level.
Good morning from the News Current Affairs Department here at Kool 91.9. A pleasant welcome to K News at 6. We are also live online at www.knewsonline.com. With this presentation, my name is Siaway, Miapue reporting. Police in Monrovia have charged and filed to court an alleged notorious scammer for the crimes of rape, sexual assault, simple assault, terroristic threat, and felonious restraint, among others. Suspect George B. alias Nicholas Jack Davis is accused of victimizing over 20 women, including a Nigerian actress of recent who, according to police, was admitted by him during their preliminary investigation. His latest arrest follows a tip-off while attempting to scam a notice that orders on Miami Beach in Painesville. However, addressing reporters at a press conference, police spokesman Moses Carter said the alleged suspect is also charged for purposely, knowingly, and intentionally having intercourse with women without their consent and threatening their lives.
It can be recalled on the 23rd of April 2023, during the late evening hours, suspect George Nicholas Jack Davis was arrested at the Miami Beach in Painesville while in the act of carrying out his scam, and he was displayed here at our headquarters with information provided on his alleged behavior. During police criminal investigation conducted with several victims of suspect George B. Wadi, alias Nicholas Jack Davis, he admitted in the presence of his legal representation on the commission of crime against persons, which are the victims. In view of the investigative facts and circumstances, coupled with witness statements, the investigation resolved to charge suspect George B. Wadi, alias Nicholas Jack Davis. And so, having exhaustively conducted this investigation, suspect Davis has been charged with the commission of the crime, sexual assault, simple assault, terroristic threat, felonious restraint, menacing, coercion, robbery, forgery or counterfeiting, theft of property and materials.
Speaking further, Carter revealed that during the police investigation, it was also established that defendant Davis exploited people sexually, creating physical and moral wounds and threatening the victims' lives. The crimes by Nicholas Jack Davis contravene Chapters 14, Section 14.70 and 14.77, among several other sections and chapters of the laws of Liberia. Moses Carter has been explaining more to reporters.
Contravene Chapter 14, Section 14.70, 14.7, 14.21, 14.24, 14.51, 14.52, and 14.27. Chapter 15, Section 15.30, 15.32, 15.70, 15.51, and Chapter 18, Section 18.7 for purposely, knowingly, and intentionally having intercourse with women not his wives and without their consent, in the process causing bodily injuries, both physical and psychological, as well as threatening his victims with serious bodily harm or death while unlawfully restraining his victims at unspecified locations where he subjects them to involuntary servitude, take nude photos of them or videos, records of his victim with the employment of weapons such as single barrel shotgun, pistol, or knife, for also illegally being in possession of LD, which is Liberian dollars, 76,500 worth of fake Liberian dollars, 500 banknotes, which offenses were carried out with different victims at various locations on different dates, and therefore having forwarded to court today for prosecution. We want to say to you, members of the press, that the Liberian National Police takes this investigation very serious on the basis of the fact that this suspect is a recidivist. And as such, we are very much determined and committed to ensure that necessary follow-ups are made to ensure that those female victims get justice.
Moses Kato is police spokesman there speaking. In a related development, the Liberian National Police has arrested and charged a 46-year-old resident of Brewerville for murder. On April 9 of this year, suspect Tony G. Buama was arrested for allegedly chopping victim Lasana Fumba Jr., who left his Poor River residence, G4 community in Brewerville, to visit his brother. He was chopped on his head, elbow, neck, and fingers with cutlass. Addressing the press on Wednesday, police spokesman Moses Kato revealed that the suspect has been sent to court for the crime of murder, which contravenes the penal code of Liberia.
We have arrested and investigated duly charged suspect Tony G. 46 and a resident of Parker Corner, Community, Brewerville, for murder. On April 9, 2023, suspect Brown was arrested for alleged chopping victim Lasana Fumba Jr., who left his Poor River residence, G4 community in Brewerville, to visit his brother, Buaka Fumba Jawate, on his head, elbow, neck, and fingers, with an object believed to be a cutlass, later dumped the body on the train track. So Burma has been forwarded to court for prosecution in violation of Chapter 14, Subchapter A, Section 14.1 of the Penal Code of the Republic of Liberia. It is important to inform you that Liberia National Police is making progress with the incident that happened on the Bourgeois Island, where a judicial worker was shot to death and money taken on the Bourgeois Island. So hopefully, with the progress being made, we can assure all of you Liberians, in Liberia and outside Liberia, that this police administration remains very committed in ensuring that anyone who commits crime against any of our citizens will not go with impunity, but will be made to face the full weight of the law.
Moses Kato is police spokesman there speaking with a team of journalists on key national issues in Liberia. The Independent National Human Rights Commission, through Anthony Pemelado Pavid, cautioned stakeholders and security actors to protect the rights of journalists while they carry out their reportorial duties. Anthony Pave made the statement while serving as keynote speaker during the celebration of World Press Freedom Day with several Liberian journalists at the Monrovia City Hall. She also alarmed over underpaying of journalists, which hinders them from providing information to the public, which is a clear violation of journalists and the public's rights.
When journalists are paid below the minimum wage, there's a violation of rights. When a young club reporter is told by a managing editor that here we do not pay salaries, it's only a place where you can start off without proper entry to the profession. That is a violation of rights. When in a post-conflict era where government entities with money in their budgets decide not to purchase or subscribe to newspapers, nor pay for ads to the local media, but decide to use their social media platforms to publish vacancies and perform other forms of communication, etc., when annual registration fees and tariffs are unaffordable by media outlets, and media entities are denied their debts on the basis of not having tax clearance. The theme of this year's celebration, Shaping a Future of Rights, Freedom of Expression, a Driver for Universal Rights, reminds us of our obligation to champion universal rights and equality through expression. Thanks to our media development partners, we can boast of 100 plus media outlets. The proliferation of these outlets can foster free expression and present better chances to citizens for amplifying their voices if the products are ethical and of quality. However, unregulated, it can be a source of chaos and conflict. Freedom of expression, as you are aware, is fundamental to political dissent, diversity of cultural expression, religion, creativity, and innovation, and it is absolute because of its universality. Notwithstanding, there are and should be genuine restrictions, limitations to free expression based on clearly defined laws and penalties, as in the case of defamation.
She's Patmela Do Peve of the Independent National Human Rights Commission there, expressing the need to increase the salaries of journalists across Liberia. And now in more development, Opposition Unity Party has officially filed a complaint to the National Elections Commission about the alleged denial of thousands of its supporters to register as a result of defective machines in Lofa and Nimba counties. The party true's national chairman, Luther Tabe, suspects that the act is an attempt by some hands at the National Elections Commission to reduce the number of votes of their supporters in these counties. Reverend Tabe made a disclosure in an interview shortly after holding a meeting with authority at the National Elections Commission in Monrovia on Wednesday. According to him, the party would demand an extension of the days that the machines failed to work in these two counties purposely to enable thousands of its supporters who may not be able to register in the biometric voter registration exercise to obtain their cards.
Our partisans, especially in Nimba County and Lofa County, have been marginalized. We're hearing that the machines that were sent there are broken down. The confusing thing here is the machines in our stronghold, where our Stellar come from, where our representatives come from, are all malfunctioning, in Foya specifically. But the machines on the side of where the CDC candidate come from are functioning. That political dichotomy is very concerning, where our people, our supporters, with the zeal they have, coming to register, cannot because of some technical reason. And that's why we are here as the chairman and national secretary general and the vice chair. We're here to express our deep concern to the election commission that they need to act on this accordingly in the next 24 or 48 hours. Not only in Lofa, but even Nimba. And we chose our running mate from Nimba just a few days ago. And we know what that means politically. And so if our people in Nimba County are also experiencing those kinds of technical things, that's a reason to insinuate, to make some political calculation and know that this is intentional to lower the UP partisans' zeal to register and vote the government they feel that can move Liberia forward. And that's why we are here to express those concerns. Well, you know, our people in the leeward counties like Lofa, where they have to work 9 hours, some of them 10 hours. They come, leaving their farms, work, leaving everything, and walking down to the center, and then technical guys telling them machines are not working. And these poor people sitting there for hours and hours and into days, and then you're telling them the machine cannot work. Do you expect a man who will work 10 hours to come back the next time? He feels that he's been rejected. And so these are the concerns we are raising. And I'm glad that we are able to come and register these very important things to the National Election Commission.
The Opposition Unity Party true's national chairman Luther Tabitha speaking to reporters after filing a complaint to the National Elections Commission about the alleged denial of thousands of its supporters to register as a result of the defective machines in Lofa and Nimba counties. Any more development this morning, the United Methodist Human Rights Monitor says it is concerned about the increase in disappearances and murder ahead of the 2023 presidential and legislative elections. The Monitor's program director Jefferson Knight disclosed that the high rate of disappearances and killings has created fear among the ordinary people in several communities, towns, and cities. Addressing a press conference in Monrovia, Mr. Knight called on the Liberia National Police and other security apparatus to be more proactive to call these incidents as indecent acts, according to the United Methodist Human Rights Monitor Program Director. If care is not taken by the government, the situation will scare away investors.
Our concerns have been drawn to the increasing wave of killing in our country, especially the disappearances and discovery of dead bodies every day in our communities every week. And we want to categorically condemn such acts. It is barbaric, it is evil, and we think it is about time. Why should we be calling on national government, especially the security, the police, and other security apparatus to step up to the plate in terms of providing protection for the people of Liberia? We think much has not been done, and these are clear examples of what we are speaking to about the increasing wave of killing in our country. We think this must stop, and we want to admonish and call on the national police to ensure that the police and other security apparatus, especially the Ministry of Justice, to ensure that massive security protection is provided to our people, especially in the wake of the pending general and presidential elections. We know during this time, every time in our country, is where heartless men, evil men, and women who want to use ritualistic killings to propel themselves to political power at the expense of innocent blood. And we think this is counterproductive to the moving forward of our nation, and we condemn these kinds of acts and call on the national security to ensure that those responsible for these kinds of killings are arrested, sent to court and prosecuted within the confines of the law. I think that will serve as a deterrent to be able to give our people some level of sanity and to boost our relief when it comes to the national security of our fear. Is the main thing now that continues to steer the people. People are afraid naturally, and I think there have been some self-imposed curfew on people. They don't want to stay out late. You see mothers and fathers calling their children, you have to come inside. You know the time is not good, the time is not safe. And all the kinds of fearful talks and what have you. These are things, and it's a reminiscence of the past, especially when it comes to all of those kinds of evil killings that brought about the Civil War.
The United Methodist Human Rights Truest Program Director Jefferson Knight, they are alarming over the issue of the increasing disappearances and murder ahead of the 2023 general elections. A representative aspirant in Maxwell County has underscored the need to support community projects to enhance developments across the country. Bishop Lamle said investing in communities to identify and initiate projects to accelerate local development. Oxywale County District 2 Representative Hopeful said if elected in the October elections, he will allocate a certain amount of money to communities in the district annually for self-help projects. He made a statement recently where he dedicated a 124th wooden footpath bridge in a New Jerusalem community in Johnsonville Township, among others.
If I succeed, with the grace of God, each community in this district will receive a certain amount of money. Every year, this money will be given to every community in this district for self-help projects. That's what I'm going to do. We'll give this money to the people of the community and say, do what you are able to do. If you do it, you can produce the receipt and we can see it. With every year you receive money. If we give you the money, I say it is for you, there is nothing to show, for your friends are getting, you will not get. God will pour into the course of each community. And I told you, if I succeed, your community will get anything. It's not going to be attached to any other community. The reason why I'm on this mind is the way you work. In Mali, I didn't pay people to do the work. I started the areas and your people did work. This is wonderful. What is happening around here impresses me. And I believe that God help me, will focus on this area in a special way. New Life Community, and when we are said, if God help me, in a short time, you will see cars coming from Federal Junction Market, coming to the common community. With the grace of God, we're going to bring a concrete bridge there. That same message I want to bring to you, that if God helps me, and you help me to get there, cars will come to your community. We will not give this community. To say we get community for us. By this time, we'll still be talking about getting a bridge. I want to thank all of you You are me. Congratulations. I will ask you to give me one new high school graduate, one female high school graduate, so that I will send them to college. What I do, I like to study from zero. Not some people who are already in, they are in already. That is my thank you to you for doing such a wonderful work. Those who get education will remember this place in the future. When I'm not around, you will remember this place. You will do this place.
In remarks, the residents and leaders of the New Jerusalem community lauded the independent Catholic bishop, the church bishop, for his continued support to the area. They also promised to support Bishop Doyen in his political endeavor to become representative of District 2 in Massachusetts County.
Bishop, I want to thank you. Anytime we call upon you, you always there for us. 2017, you were there for us. You only have 1 day for campaign to close, and you said the and now you take up something you work on again. While we were dying. So I want to tell you that we are for you at this time. The lecture are coming here, we already closed. And I see any representative aspiring our candidate, they will open for something. Thank you. Siaway. I say I can to you. I say Papa will give you water. Thank you. You do the small and small like you do. We want to see one for you. Thank you, Papa. That was for you. I was just wondering, I was waiting for a meeting for waiting for people. And I reached where to the water, the fish was down in the water. And the children, I heard they told me they wasn't going to just put me on. I do something. And I did cross. And I was there. When after 3 days I was coming and I saw the fish red fish. I was like, wow, this is good business. So that same night, she didn't reach the church. She said, well, it's ready that she did for us. So I stayed ready. And the girl was on my head. She didn't know you want to speak yet. I was just talking to her. But I said, for the name of Jesus, that is your baby. So that you are going through. So that you are going to the rest of the day. And don't go remember you. So you take hold of the name of Jesus.
A resident of the New Jerusalem community there speaking along, you listen to the independent Catholic Church bishop, namely Doyen, promising to do more when he's elected as representative of district. A legislative aspirant, as a prominent resident and representative aspirant of District 13 in Maxwell County is named low wages of salaries as some of the reasons for BAPs in schools across the country. According to Amos Dayuwa, the situation has made more high school instructors, especially from public schools, abandon their teaching careers, with other teaching several schools at once to have more salaries. However, serving as guest speaker at the William Gabriel Portland Memorial High School 15 Gala Day celebration in the program, Unua vowed to introduce a bill on the minimum wage of $500 United States dollars for high school teachers across the country.
I personally believe in student empowerment. When I empower students, they'll be able to produce for the country. And at most, I spoke on the topic to be able to increase the teacher's salary. When I get to the house, I will try to offer that bill. That teacher's salary should be increased, especially for elementary teachers, should be about $500. And for their counterparts in high school, that they can go as far as $1,000 with transportation and housing allowance. So that they should now search for grace or be able to use any other way by the way to screen students to be able to make to give them grade. What gave me this motivation is that the people in the house are taking much salary than what they deserve. Because when we go there, we want to cover a bill that can be able to reduce the lawmaker's salary to be able to increase the salary of the instructors. Because that is why we encourage them to be in the teaching career. Other than that, they will find different job elsewhere to be able to get their greener pasture. Other than that, the educational potential will not be encouraged. So, well, we saw that many of them are abandoning the teaching career and getting to other places where they can find their ends meet. Because if you go to classroom and see that teachers are not that respected because of the amount of money that they take in, how can they survive from all of it? So you see, one teacher teaching in 4-5 schools only because they want to get the ends meet. So we will want to restrict them to a particular school so that at least we can be able to get the teaching done for the children correctly. That is why we ask them to call the dues of the schools to us so that we can be able to give a scholarship, because we want to empower students. When we empower students, we will get them scholarship so that they can be able to learn more and more. And that is why we speak on the empowerment process. The graduate will go to the university, and there are some other dudes from other classes that will be offer the scholarship to be able to go to another class. Private, government institution, whichever will be discussed from our level to the office. My past achievement, I'm telling you, in fact, I got housing facility, and I have empowered the youth that can be able to the histories are there, that we have empowered a whole lot of youth. Today, some of our products are even working with us. And so I can tell you, many of our youth whom we are empowered, some of them are in a university, and some of them are university graduates.
His Amos Dayuwa then naming low wages or salaries as some of the reasons for bribes in schools across the country. A legislative aspirant in District 4, Moxualo County, has accused the management of the John F. Kennedy Medical Center of accepting money from patients without giving them proper treatment. Explaining his experience to King News, Deacon Stephen Harmon said he had taken his nephew for delivery to the biggest government referral hospital and his patient was not treated as expected. He expressed frustration in the former manner the head of the government health centers is conducting issues relating to the lives of ordinary citizens, which he believes is leading to the loss of many lives in the country.
What is just gonna see? Not just that. To some extent, I want to just call out that to some extent, one time, some 5 months ago, and then at the end of the day, they had a permit to the counseling center, and one counselor had a permit. I said, but what I'm saying is not to put it. Am I crazy that you come from me to counselor everyone and give me how you counselor is just psychology and all of the things? Am I crazy? I'm all one with fear that you got big to some extent, I need to come. We went to do okay, no way. They have to get the structure they say referral up in the JFK. We got it cash, we're not able to get my day group up yet. And I have to find a way, go to my doctor, and then sell a man, get some money, and come. And then that's how I went there. When I got there, I was there when I sent my administrative assistant, I gave him $40 USD, and I request I $30 for count. So I said, well, why would JFK, honestly, to be frank, why would that institution that belongs to the government and when people sure block to people? For someone who is on or dying there, that the people say is for the person to pay before. I didn't talk, but let me direct you to the point my experience there from GSK. When I got there, the point about I requested for people because I'm a man who is soft. I love people, I love receipt, I love legality. So if you talk on receiving money from me and then not get to I want receipt or my nephew receipt, then it's unfortunate. Then that when I begin thoughtful now in the process. Then when I begin to engage them legally, and then they started how they going how I want to cover some things and all those. I said no, I'm politics. I said it's not for politics, it's for the reality. And you receive how would I get something you say you're telling me? I get at them and I pay for the asset. They can give me receipt. Look, let me tell you, if you want to JFK, the people have the pressure, the distractor, the entire JFK. JFK is like it's a common ordinary bottle now. Even to also say important in a sense that as soon as you
Public Relations Officer GFK refuted the claim made by the District 4 legislative hopeful, saying it is far from reality. Providing further clarity, Clinton said the medical center has not endorsed any intent to sell blood to the public as stated by the birthday clergyman, but rather provide all means required by the medical profession in saving the lives of the patients.
I just reserve it because of coming attention that because I'm going to be careful because the patient she will take the consequences. So you have to be careful. I let it all down at a time. I finally left the hospital, pay the imagine. I I had to pay $150 USD after the operation on her. $150 USD. In fact, they didn't even tell the examiner, only to tell me, only to know me that indeed that request, only to tell me that indeed she needed blood. That's what they usually do in our place there. They will look at your patient and say that emergency, the person needs blood or the person needs it, which they are not prepared to use on the person. They will keep it. So some extent that they are still doing this kind of thing, it indicates no different. Even if we are coming out 50,000 on their money, it will make no difference. They will still do that because it's used to them. If you want, let's say for example, where are the jobs that Sajusa is donating to DFK every time? Yes, some of them still have problem with it. As soon as they donate the job to those DFK high profile officials, they will take away the job and carry those jobs to their bureaus, area. I can point at some of their bureau clinics where they carry their bureau jobs, and then they deplete DFK. To some extent that the DFK, the whole administration has a serious challenge now, and they are not talking about it. They're trying to sense that you will not get the material work to the kind of illness that you see you see your condition. It's unfortunate. At the end of the day, why would you think that lawmakers will not put an idea together, like in the form of laws that were set in like maybe possible? Why you think some of those ideas can affect DFK by rehabilitating, benefiting DFK, getting it to a center, because DFK just need beneficial and getting some huge jobs coming in the country and being guided by careful people, by the international community also. It's obvious that Liberian men, you give them article, they will condemn that covenant you repose in them.
When contacted a public relations officer, JFK refuted a claim made by the District 4 legislative hopeful since far from reality. Clinton clarified, has reaffirmed the JF Kennedy Medical Center's preparedness in meeting the health needs of citizens of the country.
So some of the allegations that have been laid out by Mr. Hammond, they are not true, right? He mentioned that there are blood that are being sold to patients. That is not the actuality of the head of the lab there, because there were blood patients who come here under critical conditions, like emergency cases, right? And then the doctor in most cases will request for blood donation. So the policy is that you ask as to whether you assess the patient relatives and things to know as to whether they have their blood test matches or the patients who are supposed to be or maybe operated or carry on some other medical procedures as to whether the blood matches. And if the blood matches, they will definitely extract blood from that person and to treat in order to treat the patient. That's a normal thing. Globally, if someone comes and maybe they had an accident or so and you need blood, carry on operation as a doctor, you will definitely have to request for blood donor. Yeah, so if the relatives don't have someone to give that blood that matches the patient's blood type, JFK would also maybe make a provision like calling if they have the blood in the laboratory, they are going to provide the blood to the patient. It's not for sale. The blood is there because recently the CMO, that is the Chief Medical Officer of the JFK, had a blood drive, and the blood drive was intended to goodwill people who feel that they need to save lives because there's a medical center. We request that people come maybe to give blood freely. People who have accidents, mostly the motorcyclists, at the trauma there or under this critical condition in the blood. So the information that's provided by one of the representatives firing injection number 4 is not factual. It's far-fetched from the reality.
He's James Clinton, the public relations officer there at JFK, reacting to Deacon Hammond's claim about situation unfolding at the government-run hospital. And now on the tour to Miapue County, where Electoral District 3 Representative Eli Atore has vowed to rehabilitate the homes of the God Revelation Library National Office and embark on monthly feeding process. The God Revelation Library National Old Folks Network is a conglomeration of elderly women and men from the 5th District in Miapue County. Disclosing during the consultative meeting in Kakata, Representative Eli Atore said, it is unfortunate to see all folks in Liberia, especially Miapue County, living in an unconducive environment. Something she said needs to be worked on. Representative Red also explained that her office, in collaboration with the movement Symbol Change, will start a monthly feeding program for members of the institution. For part, the head of the God Revelation Library National Old Folks Network, Mother Teresa Colley lauded the District 3 lawmaker for support through the institution. And in more development of Kool 91.9, if you're just joining us live, you can also leave your comment or reaction on these developments we are following. To this development now, the National Commission on Disabilities, in partnership with AFO Liberia, have completed a 3-day accessibility audit training with several people living with disabilities to enable them to conduct an accessibility audit of technical vocational education training centers and suggest recommendations for improvement that will assist people with disability to attend. Drawn from Nimba, Lofa, Bomi, Bong, and Maxwell counties, the training is a component of the Coordinated Action on Disabilities in Liberia, a project sponsored by the Swedish Embassy in Monrovia. It focuses on empowering persons with disabilities to conduct an accessibility audit for 5 selected TVEC centers of the CARDA project to determine whether or not these TVEC institutions are accessible to them. The training is a result of the inaccessibility of most public and private buildings for people with disabilities. Luther Mendy is the project officer and has been explaining more to reporters.
And the desired aim of that project is to ensure that people with disabilities are economically empowered and socially included into local and national development planning. So the training is an accessibility audit training. It's a component of the technical vocational educational training under the CAREL project, where we have identified at least 5 TVS centers. So in Bomi County, we intend to work with the community college. In Bon County, we intend to work with LOIC. In Nima County, we intend to work with the Nima University. In Lofa County, we intend to work with FUWIP. It's a local women TVS center. And then in Montserrat, we intend to work with BDOTC. So the idea is to ensure that those 5 centers are fully accessible for people with disabilities. So this training was geared towards training some people with disability themselves, but also service providers in accessibility audits, taking into consideration universal design and inclusion. So that training was facilitated by our counterparts from Mongolia in accessibility audit, looking at universal design, how to carry on assessment to ensure that public facilities are fully accessible to those with physical disabilities, including those with visual impairment, but also those that are speech and hard of hearing. So after the training, these participants that were trained will now go back to those centers to conduct an audit, a physical accessibility audit of those 5 TVS centers, also considering the infrastructure policies to make sure that people with disabilities are socially included in the school. Because an aspect of that is to enroll at least 30 people with disabilities in those centers.
Interview some of the participants at the end of the training, and they lauded the organizers for seeing the need to empower and include disabled people in society, explaining some of the challenges being faced by disabled people. Fatimata Sherry stressed the need for society to include people living with disabilities. She named access to public facilities as some of the challenges facing disabled people. The Sherry was followed by Tano May, a Bon County, and others who intoned that disabled people have been marginalized in Liberia.
You know, the teaching brought a lot of changes in our life for we that came here, and I pray that society will look at it in our way so that they can work for a person with disability, they can be inclusive. Because, especially for Liberia, that is not inclusive for disabled person to get access public or any private building in Liberia is so much challenging.
As we know in Liberia here, disabled people are, I can say, marginalized. And they also learn that as a disabled person or even non-disabled person, we should be friendly and living together where everybody can use facilities or anywhere equally.
So we should be accessible friendly. My expectation is that the government and other partners and other entities should be accessible, should be accessible area for anybody at any time, where we are all working with disability. So when you talk about universal design, it should be in a way that everybody will have access. So the training was very important to me because in most of our area there's no ramp, there's no elevator. So everything should be in a way that everybody will have access.
Have there been attention given to disabled people by the government?
Yeah, partially, not in all cases. Like the accessibility we're talking about. In Nigeria, the government is not paying attention to it. Because government every day go on, see the kind of idea, see the design that people have, but when they come back home, they pay deaf ear to it. If the government will pay key attention to what we are learning today, by this time, that will be accessible to all people with disability, but they are not paying attention. You provide rice for us where we eat. Yes, you give me $50, I eat, but will that take me from here where I want to go?
A group of participants they're speaking with reporters at the end of a 3-day accessibility audit training organized by the National Commission on Disabilities in partnership with AFO Liberia. If you're just joining us, it is a reminder that you're listening to Key News. It is a 45 minutes news, bring you the actual voices of the newsmaker. We're also live online at Key News. You can also follow us live via radio on Kool 91.9. And briefly away from Liberia, the World Food Program and USAID have suspended for deliveries, the food deliveries in Tigray in northern Ethiopia following the discovery that relief aid has been stolen. The USAID Administrator Samana Poy said food shipments had been diverted and sold on local market. She said deliveries will resume once there was confidence that they will reach the intended population who are facing famine. The interim leader of Tigray, Gaturi Rindat, says he's setting up a task force to tackle aid theft. And that does it for Key News at 6. A production news current affairs department here at Kool 91.9. For more news, you can join us at 2 o'clock. I wish to bring you Key News in brief. Better stay join us at 6 o'clock this evening for another bulletin of Key News. Tifilus, controller camera, Kolubahao, silent coach and sound system. On behalf of the entire news crew, my name is Siaway, Miapue. Good morning from Liberia.